Perfect. What's going on, guys? My name is Noah. Welcome to another Sunday live stream. Those of you that are watching this back, something I've been really freaking out about, like a question, a riddle that I just have to know the answer to. And I want to start this live stream off by asking everybody, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? You know? It's a really big question I've been pondering. What's going on, guys that have tuned in? Guys, I'm going to be here for 1 hour kicking it. I'm really glad you guys are here. And then I'm switching over to my Patreon account, and we're going to do a 30-minute live stream on Patreon only. There should be a link in the description if you guys want to check out the Patreon and support small little YouTubers like me. Otherwise, let's do this. All right, we've got... Come on now. There we go. Sadia Satar, hi, what's going on? Angela Areola, sup, what up? Angel, excuse me, jeez. Areola. Chris Witherspoon, what's up, brother? What's going on, Chris? Eon Phillips, what's up, Noah? What's going on, dog? Christina, about time. Come on now, it's not too late. The show, 78596, what's up, man? What's going on? Sadia Satar, nice to see you. It's good to see you, too. Chad Allen, what up, No Wheezy? What's going on, Chad? Eli says hi. What up? Caitlin Walker, good to see you. Good to see you too, Caitlin. Christina, I hate you. I love you. Chris Witherspoon, you are so handsome. Thank you. Roma Meta. Noah, hi. Hey, Roma. How are you? Natalis Pagan Rosario, hi. What's going on? Nathaniel Mylot, much love. Noah, much love right back to you. Colored Disc 6, I have a fever and my anxiety is kicking in. Got any advice? Man, just if you're anything like me, when I get sick, my anxiety gets way worse. So just hang in there. Supportive measures. Do whatever you can to keep that fever in check, I would say. That sucks though. Stylist, there we go. Stylist Sisters, hey from UK, and sorry for not sending my story because been a bit busy lately. Don't be sorry, it's all good. Chris Witherspoon, I love all your videos about anxiety. Oh, Chris, looks like your message got retracted. Mary Brumfield says hello. Hi, Mary. I hope you're well today. Jamie D, hey Noah, what's going on, Jamie? The Joe Don Baker fan. I think you're the only non-hipster in Portland, unless you secretly collect terrible vinyl, ironically. Is that a hipster thing to do, is to collect vinyl? Read! I'm sorry for yelling. My roommate collects vinyl, and if that makes him a hipster, that's going to make me so happy. I think he is a hipster. Dude, that's funny. That's so funny. Cadillac 666, yo Noah, good work, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Truly. Naydelis Pagan Rosario, hi Noah, hey, what's up? Kirsten Shanzer, hi Noah, hi Kirsten. Always good to see you on here, truly. Christina, I said that because you opened up all serious then woodchucks. Oh, I know, right? Tao, sending you love and good health. Thank you, sending it right back to you. Natalis Pagan Rosario, hi. Oh, that's cool. I like what you did with the symbols there. Clear Night Sky, so glad you're live streaming. Woohoo! Yeah, me too. 1 hour. Be here kicking with you guys for 1 hour. If you are one of the 55 people watching, thank you for being here. I'm so happy you're here. But if you've never commented or tried to steer the live stream in a direction by giving like topic advice or just whatever, like you can be involved is what I'm trying to say. I would love for you to be involved if you're watching and you've never done it. I would love to shout you out. I'd love to say hi. Yeah, it's more fun that way, so for whatever that's worth. Roma Meta says, hey, how often do you check your P.O. box? Ooh, I haven't checked it in like a week or two. Excuse me for that. I will be sure to go check it tomorrow. Hey, Siri. Remind me to check my P.O. box at 1:15 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, I added check my P.O. box to your reminders for tomorrow at 1:15 p.m.
Thank you. You're beautiful. I hope she heard that. Caller Distix, thank you, man. Love you. Love you too, dog. Scotty Drippin, good evening. Any advice on adrenal fatigue? Wow. That's a big topic. Adrenal fatigue. No, I don't have. I'm not a doctor, and I don't say that to be like a dick. I've investigated this a bit on my own. Adrenal fatigue is a pseudoscientific diagnosis believed in alternative medicine to be the state which adrenal glands are exhausted and unable to produce adequate quantities of hormones, primarily the glucocorticoid cortisol, due to chronic stress or infections. Okay, so just seeing that, chronic stress, if I were thinking about chronic stress, I'd be thinking about things that support the non-sympathetic nervous system, right? Calming, soothing things. I know for me, like, I feel a higher level of inflammation and stress depending on how I eat. I'd say keeping processed sugars to an absolute low. Avoiding food 3 hours before bed seems like a reasonable thing to do. Having a morning routine that promotes calm. I would say staying away from your phone for the first part of your day is very key, very important. Turn off notifications. Get more fresh air. You know, I would end up just saying all of the things that I try to do on a daily basis that I really haven't been great about lately. I've been sort of binge eating a lot, but guys, I have this incredible opportunity that I want to share with you, and then I'm gonna get back to comments. I'm working with a doctor. His name is Chris Miletus. He's phenomenal. He's my doctor now, and he's going to be my YouTube doctor. This guy is an absurd abundance of knowledge. He's a wonderful person, and I am going to get him on here more so that not only can you guys hopefully benefit from my experience in this stuff and the way I communicate, but we can get some people, some features on this channel that just have powerful information to share with everybody to make us all healthier and happier. Let's see what else we got. Baby, where you at? Baby, where you at? Okay. Abu Sufyan Ahmed, how's Dr. Paul? He's good. My dad, Dr. Paul, is pretty good. He's always busy, and as long as he's taking good care of himself, I think he's pretty good. By the way, guys, if you want to use the super chat function, it helps support this channel. It'll get your comment moved to the very top, and I'll shout you out, of course, and it helps support me. But otherwise, I will get to everyone's comment as fast as I possibly can. Nadelis Pagan Rosario says, also, I saved this live stream through. Also, I saved. Oh, cool. All right, fantastic. Mark Sanchez says, hey, what up? Hey, Mark. The Joe Don Baker fan, hipsters also drink Paps on purpose. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I need more info on hipster. I know I live in a stereotypically hipster town, Portland, and I think I know a hipster when I see one. But, you know, I could use a little directing. Chris Witherspoon, your videos really have helped me through a hard time. I have really bad depression and anxiety. I always watch your videos, and I always use your tips. Never knew you had such a hard time with anxiety. Yeah, guys, anxiety, I'd say I am more naturally anxious than I am depressive. I think anxiety is the core of some of the stuff that ails me mentally. But I have, of course, experienced black tar depression as well, which is rough. David Zinnerman, don't think I'm an alcoholic, but post-drinking my positivity for life gets bad first when sober. Ring a bell? Advice? Okay, so David says, I don't think I'm an alcoholic, but post-drinking, okay, got it. My positivity for life gets bad versus when sober. Ring a bell? Yeah. I mean, I think on a physiological level, all of us are a bit down-regulated after we party. I know a buddy who's pretty upbeat, but, you know, when he drinks, our brains are obviously being forced to dump dopamine and feel good hormones, neurotransmitters. So everyone tends to be a little droll, a little down, a little ho-hum for a while after drinking. I know people who, if they go binge drinking for a weekend, they can be depressive, anxious, and down for a couple weeks. You just have to understand how sensitive you are in that way. I think that led, you know, mental health problems are not good. They don't mix well with substance abuse of any kind. So, David, I would just say, you know, that one, if you just know that if you have a random night of partying, just be aware that the next day you're going to feel sad, you're going to feel down. It's pretty natural. Most like a hangover is a very depressive feeling in general. Just know, you know what's happening, cause and effect. And my only other advice would be to moderate. You know, just moderate and or fully accept what can happen sometimes when you do that. I definitely know that my mental health, I'm able to be a lot more even-keeled in general as a sober man than I was as someone who abused alcohol the way I did. Sequiod. So how do I say that? Sequiod. Sequiod. Anyway, yo, what's going on? Marla Robinson. Happy Sunday, Noah. Happy Sunday to you too, Marla. Happiest of Sundays to you too. Love Marla. Nadelis Pagan Rosario. Happy Sunday, Noah, though. Happy Sunday to you. Cadillac 666. Hey, I've been collecting vinyl before hipsters were hipsters, so I guess I'm good. Cool. Good. Christina, you interrupted Doctor Who, by the way. Oh, don't let me interrupt Doctor Who. Don't let me interrupt your favorite show. You can always watch these live streams back. I'm so glad you're here, though. Sadia Satar. I'm so grateful for the internet so that I can access people like you. Noah, what do you think of taking meds for life for mental health? Example, depression, anxiety. I think that if a pharmaceutical aid, if a psych med is noticeably helping you with your quality of life and the side effects are minimal and obviously you're under the guidance and the watchful eye of a medical professional, then I certainly do not think that anyone should feel shame about being on a psych med or anything like that. I don't think it should be stigmatized. If it's working for you, make sure that the reason you would stop has nothing to do with fear of perception or like, some people do this, like, ugh, I don't like the idea of being on something to feel okay. It's like, look, I have a hormone imbalance. So 5-6 years ago, they did multiple blood draws. As when I was in my treatment-resistant depression, like a lot of you know, I couldn't adequately produce testosterone, a very important hormone in the male body. And I put my ego aside so fast when it came to being on treatment because it's something I needed to feel okay. And it was a huge part of feeling better. And I'm proud of myself for addressing that. So like my mom, she is on, I think she's on Wellbutrin or something like that. And she's been on it for like 20 years, on and off. She just does better when she's on it. And a diabetic, type 1, wouldn't feel shame about being on insulin. And I don't think anyone who struggles with any sort of mental health issue should feel any type of way bad about being on a medication. Jeez, that was a long-winded answer. Blue Cool 789. Good evening, No. Hope you're doing great today. You look like you have been feeling great and constantly have a smile on your face. You have shows us your bicep. You have shows us your biceps and your stomach. So I've actually gained a few pounds over these last couple of months, and I'm going to be doing another series. I'm going to bend it into this opportunity to show you guys how I got really lean and how to get lean. I'm still relatively trim, but I've definitely put on a few pounds since I hit this target goal, this arbitrary number of 195. But I'm definitely like, I felt a little more self-conscious right now to like show off my body. So yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna do that right now, but I will be starting. I want to have the most like transparent, no bullshit, no facade, no lies, no games depiction of how to lose weight on YouTube. So I'm going to be showing every single meal that I possibly eat on my Instagram. We're doing a weekly update video, and I just want to show you guys exactly how to get really trim if that's something that interests you. So we're going to start that process tomorrow. We're going to work down to 190. I think I'm like a 203, 204 right now. Roma Meta, I start my new and first full-time job tomorrow. And I'm so anxious about it. Any tips to keep the anxiety at bay? I think, congratulations, first and foremost. That is so exciting. I think anxiety in nerves and excitement and whatever, fear, it's perfectly normal. I hope you know that. You're a super smart girl. I know, of course. So what I might suggest doing, if you want, is I would put down on paper why you're excited for this job, why you're proud to have this job. Get some of this angst out of your system. Pen to paper is just one of those really cool, practical ways to do that. So literally Put down reasons I'm glad I have this job, why this is important to me, reasons this will be good for my self-esteem, and maybe just reinforce the things that you know to be true as opposed to the worry in your head of what could happen. I mean, write down what could happen good for you. I think that would be really, really powerful. And then just remember that you are worth it, and I am so happy for you. So Luna gave us our first super chat of the live stream, $4.99. Thank you very much, Luna. I really do appreciate that. I don't see a question associated with it, but I'm going to go hunting for it just in case I missed it. Luna. Okay, so Luna did write, what's the best thing I can do if I feel like drinking but I'm depressed? What's the best thing I can do if I feel like drinking but I'm depressed? I think for me, the most important thing I have to remember is that connectivity is a requirement for me. I need to feel connection, and that's something I used to try to get artificially from drinking. It doesn't actually make any sort of feeling of depression better in the long term, and it can actually create a rebound effect. So I always tell myself, like, if I'm feeling down, drinking will not make that better. It is literally going to lead to more depression and worse depression and more tendency to seek out quick relief. Now, if you want a more natural quick relief, you could consider doing some exercise. I think being around friends or calling someone who has your best interests in mind and hearing their voice and asking them how they are. I think getting connected and getting those feel-good hormones and chemicals to come out naturally is the best thing you can do if turning to alcohol seems like a viable solution. One thing that I think is incredibly important is that people do their best not to turn to substance to feel better. Like, don't use it as a solution. It's a risky cycle to develop and a risky connotation to have with something like drinking. What's the best thing I can do if I feel like drinking but I'm depressed? Just be really in touch with your why. Why are you drinking? What are the potential consequences of doing so? Is it really going to make you feel better? And and can you handle that possibility that's going to make things a lot worse? Yeah, just my thoughts. Thank you for the super chat. And hey, hang in there. I understand how that feels. I mean, you could always cook yourself a really delicious meal and see if that satisfies that a little bit as well. Where are we? So Kirsten Shanzer says, have you ever had to deal with irritability and anger when depressed? Yeah, of course. It's the one thing I'm having trouble handling. My kids probably hate me. Yeah, it's pretty normal to feel irritability and being quick to anger when you're depressed. But I think it's definitely an inside job, the whole being angry and dealing with anger and irritability. Usually we're not angry at the things we think we're angry about. And I'm not trying to play all psychoanalyze. What I'm trying to say, I got distracted. I'm not trying to play therapist on you, but I absolutely have been quick to irritability. And I think one thing that really helps me is to work a gratitude practice. And maybe if you take some time to yourself, even 5-10 minutes, take a few deep breaths, maybe do some square breathing, and remember that you can change the whole world by changing the way you look at it. And then maybe write down some things that you're really grateful for, can bring you to a calmer place. I don't know. I guess the answer is yeah. I've had to deal with that a lot. Not so much in a while, though. Ethan Michael says, hello, I hope everyone here is doing well. If not, I'm sending you strength and hope that any troubles pass quickly for you. Have a great day, night, everyone. First comment on live stream ever. Yeah, Ethan, that's incredible. What a dope first comment. I love that. Thank you. Angela Areola. I know that you don't consider yourself fully cured, but is anxiety itself curable? I feel really hopeless and depressed. I feel like there's no point in living if I can't find peace. Yes. So let me clarify. Like compared to, in comparison to the acute stress I was under when I was like stupid depressed and crazy anxious and just flooded with symptoms of anxiety, I am cured if we're going to go black and white comparisons. I don't live in that constant space anymore. I find tremendous value in my life. I feel good. I feel calm. more than I don't. I do understand what it's like to feel hopeless. And you know what? I had that same thought process. I was like, if this never gets better, what's the point of going on? But that's also like a product of feeling down and anxious. It's not based on any sort of reality. There's no way you could project never feeling better again. So I think what's more important than wondering what the point is if you never feel better is to wonder what you can do today to move the needle to eventually feel better. And when I say I don't consider myself fully cured, I just mean that, like, mental health stability, just like going on a diet, right? It's not based on working really hard to then do nothing and settle into what you've always done. It's a trap to think that way, and I've fallen into that trap so many times. I slightly fell into it recently with gaining some of my weight back, just a little bit of my weight back. It's a lifestyle, and I know for me to be successful long term and to not be in a constant flux of I'm doing better, I'm doing worse, I have to develop habits and put things in place and structures, just basics, daily, into my routine, my living, so that I can feel good. So it's daily reprieve sort of attitude, marathon mindset. That's why I say I don't consider myself totally cured, because mental health struggles happen. And I just like to bolster myself and stack odds in my favor to do better when things get hard, because they will. The people that tend to be in trouble with this stuff, and I've been one of these people, are people that work really hard in a reactive response to not feeling well. So they react, they tidy up their lives in a lot of the ways they know how, and or they seek information from people that know better, can help guide them. They start to do better, and then they rest on their laurels and they go back to old ways. Those are the people that tend to struggle. So for you and Angel, it's just going to be about how can you stack odds in your favor, and can you understand that this projection of hopelessness is not based in reality, right? It's just based in fear and anxiety. That's my 2 cents. Nadelis Pagan says, also, talk to you later, okay? I'm going to another live stream, so bye. No, nice, have a good time. Earth with Soft says, I'm going through a very tough time depression-wise, and you've been very helpful. I really appreciate your channel. I'm sad to hear that you're going through a rough time. I'm glad to know that my channel could offer you a little something, even a little something that's wonderful. And stay brave, okay? Mary Brumfield says, I feel like I don't have any friends where I moved to. My husband is there for me. My best friend kind of just shut me out. She can't deal with my depression and anxiety. It stinks. I totally get how that goes. I remember being surprised when I was really depressed. Certain people in my life who I truly wouldn't have guessed were going to be so present for me, so resilient, so unwavering were. And then other people, like best friends, certain ones, they really weren't equipped to deal with me. I was too much for them, and I took that personal, and I couldn't help but take it personal then. Now I'm in a space where I try not to take just about anything anyone does personal, because I understand that we're all fallible people and we're doing the best we can. I'm only in control of me. I can't be made a victim by the way other people behave, act, and respond. That helps me stay empowered. But I definitely understand that it is tough to find community that can handle real life situations sometimes. And I hope you can forgive your friend for that and maybe find a loving way to express that. But it's tough. No fucking joke, it's tough. Let's Be Real says, no. What's going on, dude? Blue Cools, we are fine even if your six-pack is not so clear. I think you're the only one right now who wants to see a body update. But I am going to be doing tons of body updates for the next couple months as we work down to probably 6% body fat. Let's be real, dude. I've been through so much. PTSD and depersonalization has been hell, but it's made me such a good person. Yeah, you know, if we can leverage our suffering properly, it can create very humble versions of us. You know, joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. We've all heard cliches like that, and I have to admit it really has been the case for me in a lot of ways. So it's really cool that you know, once we start feeling better, it's a little easier to have that hindsight that's a little more productive. But yeah, I'm able to appreciate things I never appreciated before. We have a big super chat from Christina. Big super chat. Christina says, thank you, by the way. That's powerful. $20 super chat. I appreciate it so much. She says, we need merch that says stay brave. I could wear the heck out of that. Let's do this thing. Is there a way that you can add a Patreon level that would make that a reality? Is that something you are even interested in? I'm very interested in that. And you know what? I'm going to put that on my to-do list. I need a logo, guys. I don't have a big no-no logo, and I do want one. So I need to make that a priority. And there's a website called Teespring that I want to launch merch on. Just so I love that. Stay brave. Stay brave would be a beautiful thing that I do say all the time, because I do think bravery is what we need. I think sometimes we get lost in the whole, like, what's the cure? What do I need to do or take or whatever to feel better? But most of the stuff takes so long, as you guys know. Getting better, feeling better, holding on to that feeling, it takes so much time. And inversely, I think it takes a ton of bravery, like a ton of bravery to survive and to thrive and to get through the things that we have to deal with. That's so cool. I'm going to write this. See, right there, that's my board. Teespring launch is on there. Is something I haven't done yet, but I'm going to mark Stay Brave is going to be one of my first slogans. It's on my to-do list. All right. Wonderful suggestion. Thank you, Christina. Thank you very much. Where are we? So generous. Blue Cools. And my question is, what is your max rep for pull-ups, push-ups, and sit-ups with your body weight? That's a cool question. I appreciate that. So my max reps for pull-ups, strict, is, I think it's 21. Maybe 22. 21 or 22 strict pull-ups I can do. Push-ups, I believe, is 45 or 46, right around there. And sit-ups, I am not the best at sit-ups, but I could probably churn out, I don't know, I'd say 50 or 60 before I'd need to take a couple breaths, something like that. And I'm really proud of those numbers, by the way. I'm a relatively big guy, and as far as, like, I mean, very relatively speaking. But what I mean to say there is I think brute strength comes more natural to me. I have a relatively big deadlift and a bench press and a back squat. Those are, moving weight is more akin to my natural abilities than moving body weight, more gymnastic stuff. So I've always been proud of progress in gymnastics because I came from a history of just being heavy and pretty strong. Salvador Castro, lots of blessings, Noah. Blessings right back to you. So many blessings right back to you. Bella Mars says, do you live stream every Sunday? I do. I do live stream every Sunday. I haven't locked it into a set time, but I really do like the amount of people that kick it with me on a Sunday evening. So I think it's going to be like about this time. I'd say 5 o'clock might be a normal time going forward. Jade R says, hey, you are so amazing. Back at you. Thank you. Scott Bannerman, I struggle with depersonalization, anxiety, depression. Any positive tips to help keep me going? So many tips I could give you. I just posted a video, literally just posted a video talking about the things that were the most important that helped save me. One was finding a community, whether it be online, in person, finding a role model. So it can be a mentor, it can be a real life role model, someone who's been through what you're going through so you don't have to figure it out so much. It can be someone who's written a book, just a role model. You have to find someone you can just turn to. Number 3 is a game plan. I think all of us need to have active, formal game plans. Now, these game plans can come in the form of pre-set up game plans, like Douglas Block has a really good one, 12 Weeks to a Better Mood. If you guys follow this dude's game plan in this book, you are going to be well on your way to feeling better. But it can also be coming up with a game plan with a therapist. I think incorporating comforting measures into your daily routine is paramount. So I'm not talking about once in a couple months getting a massage. I mean, like, have routine things like Epsom salt baths and other things that can relax you, and then make that a part of your lifestyle. You need to feel comfort wherever possible, because it's so hard to feel comfort when you're down. And then aside from that, I mean, God, there's a million things you can do, but it's just, a positive tip is just to keep going and not try to figure it out in your own head. The best thing I ever did was just turn myself over to help, to accept fully that I didn't know what to do and I needed help. I'm rooting for you, Scott. Luna says, what's the best thing I can do to feel... Okay, gotcha. Penny Regate says, you look like improving every aspects. Thank you. Thank you. I think you're just trying to say that I look like I've been improving a lot of aspects of my life, and I think I overall very much have. I've committed to that process, and I like the results. You know, feels good. Thank you. Efrosaf, what would you recommend to improve severe apathy and disorganization when depressed? So I think like what comes to mind when I think of apathy is figuring out ways to be of service to others. So volunteer work might help with your apathy. I think when we don't care about anything or ourselves, or at least we get that feeling, that apathetic feeling, and nothing really matters, I think investing in other people is our best bet. But that's not a feeling either. That's an action. So my prescription to you, sir, is to call one person each day with the intention of only asking them how they're doing and seeing how you can better their lives. That's it. So you're not calling to talk about yourself. You're not calling to get anything out of this conversation. You're going to see what you can add to this conversation. Friends, family, whatever. If you make that a daily practice, I think the incredible power between two human beings communicating is going to get the best of that apathy, at least a little bit. Otherwise, volunteer work should be really helpful. And then disorganization when depressed. I'm disorganized to this day. I really struggle to be organized. Organization is a skill. One thing that pops into my head, I was listening to a podcast, and certain things stick, right? Like, we learn things, we hear things, and for whatever reason, sometimes things really, really stick with us, and other times I read something and I don't remember anything about it. And I heard this podcast from this lady who's like essentially a professional organizer. She's written books and given numerous talks on the topic of how to be more organized. And one thing she says is to organize in the flow of your life, so that you don't necessarily have to muster the enthusiasm required to do like a big deep clean or a mass organization project. So that could look like you're walking through the living room and you see a piece of trash on the coffee table. You're not going to start cleaning by any means. You're not in the mood to do anything. But you can definitely grab that one piece of trash and throw it away because you were headed that way anyway. So she has this whole passive organizing attitude where every time you leave a room, every time you enter a room, either way, you're going to quickly just do one thing that moves the needle to being more organized. That pops in my head, and I use that literally all the time. That way, I don't have to wait till I really feel like cleaning, because I often don't. I really don't. But I don't mind grabbing a thing or two here or there while I'm moving about my day. And otherwise, use your calendar for staying organized with commitments and engagements so that you can be a person who honors their own word. The more we honor our own word, especially to ourselves, the better our self-esteem becomes, the more likely it is to trickle into other aspects of our life that can really be big for making you feel better and moving the needle, making you more productive and stuff. Brent Waters says, hey, Big No-No, if I want to do a whole week of bulking, should I work out also? Yeah, everyone should work out all the time anyway. And that can mean whatever you want it to be, Brent, but you definitely should to be working out if you're bulking. And listen, I've been bulking, and I've been dirty bulking too, and I've been feeling pretty sick about it, but I've just been overeating and lots of sugar and bad stuff, and it's been fun, but it's gotten a bit out of hand. You don't have to eat much more than your baseline amount of calories to be bulking. So that could literally, use MyFitnessPal, figure out what they think your basal metabolic rate is, what your maintenance calories would be, up it by 300, you'll be good. Otherwise, yeah, everyone should always be exercising no matter what, with the idea that it's going to help here and then here. Flo Huber? Is that one? Ah! Sorry, guys, my computer's wigging out. Hey, Noah, you're... Dang. Sorry, guys. Oh, Christina just dropped a $2 live stream. Thank you, Christina. No, actually, hold on. I'll be right back, Christina. Pardon me. I have to go back to the gentleman I was at. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Uh-oh. Oh, no. There we go. Flo. Okay, so Flo Huber says, hey, Noah. Your videos always gave me hope in dark places. I'm glad that somebody who's been through all that still has the wish to help other people. Very compassionate and selfless. I love that. Thank you. That's really nice of you to say. Help was freely given to me many times. So it's certainly the least I can do. We do have a live super chat from Christina. So when you guys use the super chat function here, I'm going to be with you for another 30 minutes. It does mean your comment goes to the top, out of obviously gratitude for me that you're willing to support me with your hard-earned money. She says, how do we access the Patreon live stream? So if you're one of my Patreons at that reward tier, you access it. This next Patreon live stream is going to be for anybody who's a Patreon, so even if you pledge $1 a month, you just have to be on the Patreon site, and you're going to get an alert. So an alert will go to you once you've signed up to be my Patreon, link in the description. And then you can join the live stream. That starts here in about 40 minutes. 35 minutes, we'll start that one. Okay. Master J, Noah, just wanted to say what's up, brother. What's going on, dude? Thank you for stopping by and saying what's up. Flo Huber says, hey, Noah, your videos always give me hope in dark places. I'm glad... Oh, I think you posted that twice. Okay, cool. Dana Sky 3 says, hello. What's going on, Dana? How are you? Adam LaCastro, love your videos, man. I'm trying my best on my benzo taper. God, that's all we can do. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Cholera Disc 6. Do you ever have anxiety attacks in public? I have not had a full-blown anxiety attack in public in a very long time. I do have at times spiking anxiety. I've noticed that being in massively packed areas, very densely populated areas, like an event or a show or whatever, that can be tough. What I do is I just focus on my breathing. My breathing is my greatest tool. I have been taught that as much as our thoughts can impact our body can impact our brain as well. And so breathing practices, square breathing, please look that up. Very powerful for that. It is cold in here. Freaking freezing, man. Woo. Got slippers on in them. All kinds of cold. All kinds. If you guys will excuse me for one moment, my wife texted me. So pretty. This is my sister-in-law's backyard. Isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful. I love it. All right. Baby, where you at? Adam LaCastro, love your videos. I'm trying. Okay. Bipolar Corner, what's up, man? How's it going, dude? I've been watching a couple of your videos. You've got a lot to say. I like the way you talk. Tragic BPM says, I'm on 0.125 Klonopin a day, ready to jump. How long were you on that dose before you jumped, and how, oh, I see. And how long after did it take you to feel better? 0.125, I mean, I think I stated every dose when I was doing my taper from Klonopin, which is a benzodiazepine, which if you guys don't, still doesn't ring any bells. It's just a medication that people take for acute anxiety that occasionally people end up staying on chronically, which we then can develop dependencies towards, which can lend themselves to a lot of gruesome side effects. And I think I stayed at every dose before making a jump for 2 to 4 weeks. And I know people that have tapered insanely slow. So be careful. I hope you have someone working with you. Bipolar Corner. It's according to what type of anxiety you have. There is no cure. It's learning coping skills with treatment and medication if needed. I agree. Fully agree. Roma Meta, hey, thank you for your advice on my new job and just writing down what I'm thankful for. Wish me luck. Luck. I'm going to go shower and then catch some Z's before the big day. Love you, Noah. I love you too, Roma. Like a friend, of course, as you know. I'm so excited for you. Flo Huber says, hey, Noah, currently I'm in a bad place. Very depressed, anxious, currently staying in my room, just fed up with not being in control of my mental health. Have you got any tips on how I could pick up the fight again? Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that many of us have come to that space where we're just like, done. I don't want to do anything. And I just believe that when it comes to picking up the fight, it's just, I'm going to beat this like a dead horse until the end of time, but we're just stacking habits in our favor. And so if you can start your day by doing one thing that's going to better your mental health, that's amazing. And that can be something small. So get back in the fight by just doing the action and not waiting for the brain space to do the action. So motivation and inspiration are not prerequisites, for any type of action. You're getting back in the fight right now by reaching out to me. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, I just want you to make your bed. That's it. And you're officially back in the fight. You're officially doing something that is you taking care of yourself. And then just get used to doing that for a couple of weeks. You're someone who wakes up and makes their bed. And then develop a morning routine. Look up some examples that are going to promote your mental health and your wellness. And then I always tell people to do gratitude. Christina says, stupid laurels. Yeah, stupid laurels for sure. Tracelyn, 3 weeks without cigarettes. Yeah. Fuels anxiety spikes. Just did 18 miles on my bike in front of a TV and weights with squats. Good job. Endorphin rush, anxiety down. Now your live stream. Thanks, dude. Keep smiling. That's amazing. Yeah. If I don't know what I would do without the natural high I get from working out. That's a badass evening you've got going on right now. Jamie D, been putting off TRT for about a year, about to start this week. Seeing the change in you through your vids has been important to many with the same symptoms. How much would you attribute to TRT? I don't know that, I mean, yeah, congrats, by the way, for making the decision to do what you need to do to take good care of yourself. I couldn't say to what exact percentage or degree my TRT has helped, but it's just been an important piece of the puzzle. Like, I wouldn't be sure what helps more, exercising or TRT, or therapy or TRT, but I know that I had more energy and better follow through with all the things that many of us need to incorporate into our life to be mentally stable and to work through these things. So I just would say that it was a very important piece of the puzzle, and I'm so thankful I found that piece of the puzzle. Kirsten says, yeah, I've been trying to stop drinking, thinking I need to give up coffee as it amps up my anxiety, and am in the process of becoming a single mom. So lots going on to add to the depression I already feel. That is a lot going on, Kirsten. That is a whole lot going on for you. Maybe don't try to do everything all at once, but first things first. Whichever you think is going to elicit the best chance for you to be happy and stable, be a mom that you want to be the person you want to be proud of seeing in the mirror. It's a lot going on for sure. You have my love and my respect. Let's see. B Stokes. Hey Noah, I hope all is well with you. Hey, I hope all is well with you too. Justin Torrance, getting really, really impatient with my TRT treatment. 2 months into TRT, getting 400 milligrams cypriates once a month isn't holding me over. Any advice? My advice is just to stay patient. Stay really patient. And I'm not a medical doctor, consult your physician, blah, blah, blah. Disclaimer. But 400 all at once might be a little aggressive in the sense that you might be peaking out a little too high and dropping a little too low based on the half-life of testosterone. So they first started me every other week, and I felt like that wasn't enough. I do think you would probably have more success if you were doing every other week or every week. That way you could have less peaks and valleys, and your steady state could stay more steady. Some guys are high converters. I know that I'm a relatively high converter. When I say I'm a high converter, that means that when I have excess testosterone, my body then produces estradiol. So it converts it into estrogen. And if that's happening, then there are some side effects that can happen there. So the early days of medications in general, be it TRT or psych meds or most medications where there are side effect profiles, it's like a guessing game. It's a trial and error thing. So Justin, I would just remember that you started for a reason, presumably, right? Your doctor's treating you for a reason. Be patient, but be hyper vigilant that you are going to find the right care, and you might need more. 100 a week might be perfect. 140 a week is perfect for me. So it's just about finding the right dosage, the right delivery, the right timing. It's a bit of a game in the beginning, but play the game, see it through. One thing is for sure, once your hormones are balanced, like truly regulated and balanced, you are better off with healthy, stable amounts of testosterone than really low, low levels. All right, guys. Luis Reyes, is it possible to be in love with two women at the same time and both being sister? Oh, like loving two women that are sisters? I don't think so. I don't think you can truly be in love with both. That's just my gut, though. I think you can have love for both. I think you can feel lust for both. In love, call me an old school, call me a hopeless romantic, but love is an action. Feeling in love with someone requires a lot of action and work. It's not just a raw feeling, Those are hormones. It's an interesting question. No, my guess is no. Brett Nance, what's up, buddy? What's up, Brett? Tragic BPM, I want to see more than a body update. That's funny. Trayson says, I'm for the march. Noah, that's an amazing idea. Merch, cool. Awesome. Christina, yes. Luis Reyes, please answer, Noah. B Stokes, for the first time in a long time, I'm doing good. Got 1 year sober a few days ago. Yeah! I also went to a domestic violence fundraiser yesterday and did my 25-minute survivor story for the first time. Wow. How cathartic was that? Good for you, B. That's amazing. Wow. That's amazing. Heck yeah. Christina says, go, B. Yeah. Flo Huber says, hola. Currently, I am in a bad place. Very negative, depressed, anxious. Currently staying in my room, just fed up with not being in control of my mental health. Do you have any tips? I think I already answered that one. Bipolar Corner says, congrats, Happy Stokes. Awesome. Bipolar Corner, are you taking Bipolar Corner, helping people out? I love it. Christina, did you mean logo or slogan? I don't know. I think I meant slogan. Let's Be Real says, I'm just going to tell everyone with anxiety, depression, and depersonalization it's going to be okay, but you need that community, meditation, exercise therapy, and find the root cause of your problem. Look, one thing is for sure, guys. There's no way to dress this up or pretend this isn't the case. There's work involved in being your truest self, being healthy, overcoming trauma and things that have shaped the way we behave and interact with the world. There is work. I think what is more... Oh, okay. I think what's more important is just to understand that attacking that work doesn't have to be this monumental thing all at once. I am just here to promote the baby step mentality and the consistency mindset. Root causes take work. I just want you guys to know there is work involved, but it can start small. You just have to have that compounding mentality that you're going to be 1% better every day. Okay. B Stokes. Oh, have you gotten any recent fan mail? I promise I'm going to go tomorrow and pick up fan mail. That's fan mail. It sounds so funny. 3LAA Muhammad. Hi, Noah. Greetings from Egypt. Thrila Muhammad, maybe? That's so cool. Greetings from Egypt. Wow. Okay, so Jussie Milimaki says, what is your PR clean and your snatch? My PR clean is 325 is my PR clean, and my PR snatch I think is 220. B Stokes, also, I'm glad I caught one of your live streams. It's been a while. Yeah, I'm really glad you did too. Just shot me at the bottom. Hang on one second. Let me get back to where I was. Tiki says CrossFit is expensive. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But if you can't afford, if the CrossFit model is too expensive for you, which I fully understand, I do think it's worth every penny because you're getting personal training, personal programming every single time, plus a class environment, diverse training schedule. It's worth it in spades. But it is an expensive. If you look at it on face value, it's expensive. And so the cool thing is you can look up CrossFit style workouts and principles and bodyweight stuff that you can incorporate at home without having to go to a gym if you're someone who can be self-disciplined. Bipolar corner. But CrossFit's an investment. It's an investment in your physical health and your mental health. So it pays itself off. The Medic 512, have you read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules book? I haven't. Castro, thank you for documenting your journey. It helps. My pleasure. Tiki says, what is your macro percentage? What's CFP? Let's see. Carbs, fat, protein. Okay, right. Macros. So my macro percentage when I'm in training mode is about 40% carbs. I'd say 30% protein, 30% fat, something like that. Escapist Foundation received yet another write-up at work a few weeks ago in regards to poor attendance due to hangovers. Been dragging my ass out of the house lately, even if I feel like death. Too many wake-up calls. Yeah, dude, I remember that hangover life and that just trying to like drag your way through the day instead of like attack your way through the day. You know, maybe something's knocking. Maybe there's something knocking at the door, and maybe you're going to hear it and answer it. Maybe not. I don't know. But that sucks, and I know that space, that managing space, that juggling space, that feeling like you're not living your best life, perhaps, you know. So I just wish you strength and bravery to be whoever you want to be, man. Joke's on you says, my doctor just started me on testosterone, but only 100 milligrams per week. Do you think that's too low? It really just depends. 100 milligrams a week might be great for you. It's all blood work and symptom relief related. So start there. Be consistent. Live a healthy lifestyle that promotes good testosterone production anyway, like good sleep, exercise, diet, stuff that we all know. And then go back and get your follow-up blood work and see what it is. Now, if your blood work shows low, total or free, depending on your estrogen levels, maybe you'll need to up it. Just make sure you're really honest with yourself. But I do know people on 100 that are good. I found that 140 was like a sweet spot for me. But we're going to be doing blood work really, really soon. I have a new doctor, and if it shows that I'm too high and he wants me lower, I'll go lower. I want to be accountable to the process and do whatever's best. All right, guys, we got about 10 more minutes left on this live stream, okay? B Stokes, good question, Christine. I have no clue how to access the Patreon live stream either. CT says, hello. What's going on, CT? Brett Nance, sub CT. Geraldo Morel, Noah, I've been following your experience for a while, and I've been struggling with my own issues with alcohol. I've been off and on. I appreciate your in-depth perspective and willpower. I appreciate you saying that. It's really nice of you. You know, the will thing, though, my willpower only ever gets me so far, and I think it's been more like, I don't know, I just don't like giving myself that much credit, I guess. I think being willing to trust a process has been much bigger than being willing to trust myself. I do better when I trust a process than me. CT says, have you heard of Abger's syndrome? Most left-handed people have it. Eminem does, and me. No, I haven't. I haven't heard of that. Joke's on you says, also, Wednesday is my first injection on my own, and I bought a 1-inch 23-gauge needle, but I'm terrified. The doctor used a 25-gauge, 1.5 in for my first one, and my glutes, and it didn't hurt at all, though. Yeah, dude, that's just something you're going to have to go through. Get as much feedback as you can. Watch as many videos as you possibly can. I was really nervous for a long time about pinning, about doing that myself, and you get better at it. Just remember, you have good reason to be there, to be doing it. And take a deep breath. You're going to be okay. Just be as calm as you can. There's no way to dress it up, though. The first time sucks. It can suck. J2306 with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Jay. Says, can I take TRT and Lexapro also? I'm on TRT 160. So Jay, I can't advise you medically, of course, on what you should or shouldn't be doing. I cannot treat or diagnose. All I can say is, full disclaimer, consult your physician. I'm not a doctor. I'm just here to share my experience, strength, all that stuff. I know plenty of people who are on TRT who also are on some psych meds. So it's not like one particularly rules out the other. 160 is a solid dose. I imagine your levels are pretty solid at that. And just consult your physician. But in my opinion, if you have, you should be able to be on both, no problem. How about this? I know what I can say here. I was once on both. All right, guys. Jordan Gould says, do you believe in God? I do believe in a higher power. I haven't defined it. I don't know what that means, but I do believe that I'm not God. And I do believe that there's something. Yeah, I definitely believe in something. CT says, I'm in the Midwest. I believe in a higher power. Me too. Tiki, I'm an atheist. Tiki says, big no-no, remember when you made that music video? Yeah, I remember when I made that music video. So funny. CT says, reishi mushrooms will motivate you big time. It's too stimulating. I heard a lot of good things about reishi. I'm just learning about mushrooms for medicinal purposes, not psychedelic ones. Firas Ibrahim says, hi Noah, recently I'm taking Lexapro for my depression. I feel about 60% improvement. What do you think if I continue on medication will be help for healing from depression and anxiety? Hold on. What do you think if I continue on medication will be help for healing from depression and anxiety? Thanks, man. So what I do think is pretty well established is that the best combination, if you and your doctor decide that psych meds are the right choice for you, and hopefully if you're not acutely suicidal, you've tried a lot of the natural things, right? But if you're just in a desperate space and you try, one thing is for sure, that working with someone, so therapy and medication always works better than one or the other all by itself. So I just hope that you're doing both, and I think that you can get better and better, and maybe it's just it's a positive thing for you right now. And if it's helping you, that's really all that matters. Okay. CT says, look up chemtrails. They mess us up big time. Got a detox. Okay. Bob San 48. I've been watching your videos for some time and always took some great value from them. But I've never went to get help thinking I can do it all on my own. But I know now that staying in the psych ward, but I know now from staying in the psych ward these past 6 days, sending you lots of patience and love. I've been in the psych ward. I've been on psychiatric hold. I've spent a week in there. The more I rely on just me, the worse I do. Across the board. Hang in there. Robert Anderson, MAGA. CT, doctors will push drugs on us like candy. They make free money for Medicare. Tiki says, the only thing to start your day could be coffee. That one thing to start your day could be coffee. Yeah, I love coffee in the morning. Courtney Metheny says, I need help. Please get help. Yeah, there's help available to you, I promise. That's my alert to prep for the Patreon live stream that we're going to switch to in about 5 minutes. So about 5 more minutes here, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate you. Matthew says, I took Lexapro and same to me. 6% better, but I stop and feel better with very low doses. Joseph Smith III says, my girlfriend left me because she is depressed and told me she needs to work on herself. 8-year relationship gone. Damn, that's hard. Bought a ring, was going to ask her to marry me. Now I'm lost. Oh, buddy. That's so rough, dude. I can only imagine. I hope you take care of yourself right now. But I really can't imagine the pain you feel. That's really, really hard. Just sending you love, dude. Sending you love, and I sincerely hope that you don't use this as an opportunity to self-destruct, but rather as an opportunity to grow even more. And if you guys are meant to be back together, I hope you do. I hope she takes care of herself and finds herself too. Ooh, but just be good, dude. That's rough. Robert Anderson, 6 months with no alcohol and 3 months with no chewing tobacco. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, congrats, dude. That's a huge deal. Matthew Gutierrez, almost same to me, Joseph. Okay. B. Stokes says, congrats, Robert. Beautiful. CT, nice, Rob. I have some drinks on the weekends, but no more hard drinking. Good for you. It looks like Jay has another super chat, $5. Thank you so much, Jay. And it says, I have digestive problems and anxiety and depression. I took probiotics and felt 50% better. Also, I'm anemic. I can't tell what's causing my anxiety. Yeah, figuring out what's causing what is really, really, it can be a mind bomb. Like, it can make you obsess and freak out because I know how it feels to just need to know. Something that, I think is really powerful that everyone should look into, including you, Jay, is fasting protocols. The body is incredibly good at healing itself when we remove body burden. And that can be, of course, in the form of food and ingesting whatever, drugs, alcohol, food. So, like, I found that when I do some extended fasts, my gut heals and I tend to feel much, much better. So maybe look into fasting, Jay, if you don't know much about fasting. It could be an interesting avenue for you to explore. And otherwise, when it comes to, like, I can't tell what's causing my anxiety, I think it can be a losing battle to obsess and try to figure out what that is. So for me, what's been really, really important for me is to worry less about what's causing what and worry more about stacking odds in my favor with proven fundamental things for better health. So being very mindful and understanding what we're putting in our body and what those, those things can do. Basically, processed foods and sugars, how's that affecting us? Are we getting enough sleep? Really? Do we have the best sleep practices possible? Are we getting enough water? Just control what you can and let there be a trickle effect into your mental health. You may never get the exact reason, barring like something obvious like blood work showing something. We may never get the exact reason why we're struggling or not feeling good, but we can stack odds in our favor to eventually feel well, and then it won't really matter. And then who really cares, As long as we're feeling better. Hi, Daisy. My puppy just came to the room to say hi. Hi, puppy. Therapy dogs. Joseph, maybe your girlfriend is depressed because she wanted a ring. Maybe. Patty Brady says, watching Prison Break, badass show. Yeah, Prison Break was one of my favorite shows. It's definitely one of those shows I want to rewatch again. But I've seen it already, and there's so many good shows. The show I'm most interested in starting right now is, I think it's called The Man in the High Tower. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Apparently it's like it's like a depiction of a world that would have been if Hitler's Germany or the Nazis had won World War II, I think. Anyway, I'm really interested in that. CT says, I drink water, man. Been raking leaves all day. Gotta live sober. Yeah, same here. Sober life or nothing. Let's Be Real says, have you ever tried psychedelics? I really want to microdose because it can reverse trauma and help depression big time. It changes your perspective. This comes up a lot, and I have literally even filmed a talk given by a doctor to a bunch of med students on the topic of psychedelic, mushrooms or whatever, microdosing, and or whatever to deal with trauma and work through major depressive stuff. I am so scared of it. It just scares me endlessly. I cannot imagine ever coming to a space, especially doing as well as I've been doing and kind of just doing the footwork to dealing with past trauma with a therapist. I can't see myself ever willing to risk a potential bad reaction to a psych. But I guess you did just bring up microdosing. It's really interesting. I don't think I can go into it with the right perspective because of my fear, because of what happened to me with my VIVITROL. Josh Style says, no, I've been dealing with some depersonalization, derealization, and a little HPPD from a panic attack I had while under the influence. I'm finding it hard to get away from smoking weed. Thanks. Yeah, Josh, a lot of people start their depersonalization journey smoking weed. It ends up being a major trigger. They have a panic attack while they're smoking, and then they get thrown into this dreamlike state, this depersonalized state. But yeah, I mean, I imagine, like a lot of people, I know for me, you can't just stop smoking weed. You'll have to replace it with something that can fill that void. Weed's doing something for you. If you're a daily smoker, it is doing something for you. If you're a daily drinker, it's doing something for you. So you can't take away something that has been a part of your daily life and expect not to go a little bit stir crazy. You're going to have to find something to replace it. So I wish you well in that. Guys, I'm going to call it right there. We're going to go ahead and end this live stream. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to everybody's questions, but I appreciate everyone that tuned in. I am going to prep myself for the next 5 minutes for a Patreon live stream for those that follow me there and able to support me there. Just know that I'm so grateful that you guys were here with me this Sunday. I hope you guys have an incredible week. I have a lot of cool content coming up. I'm going to be starting a weight loss series. I'm going to show you guys how I go from about 202, 203 pounds down to 190. During the holidays effortlessly. So please, if you're struggling with weight loss and you want some tips on what to prep, how to cook, how to eat tons of food and still lose weight, as well as body updates, mentality, philosophy behind the whole thing, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I do it. I'm gonna do it over the next couple months, and I'm gonna do it very, very transparently on my platform and on my Instagram. So be on the lookout for that if that's of any interest to you. And otherwise, just have the best week you can possibly have. And for those of you that are my patrons who happen to be here, head on over to Patreon. We're going to start that live stream in about 5 minutes. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys so, so much. You make my life better every single day. I have no words, except I constantly babble. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.